Hi there. I'm Karen, founder of Cancer Walk, and I want to talk to you today about things that are just really on my heart a lot because I see it coming up so often in our Zoom calls that we have every week, Cancer Walk talks on Tuesdays and on Wednesdays. But the three things that I'd like to discuss today have to do with with the second opinion, and I'm a big advocate of getting second opinions. I myself got a second opinion, and it totally changed everything for me. Um, and I hear it on the calls quite a bit. People get a second opinion, and suddenly the treatment is changed, and the outcome is different than was originally expected. So, please consider it. Most insurance companies will cover it. You can check with them. Um, some actually prefer that you get a second opinion. Um, and what I have found is you can get a second opinion very easily. You can go online and you can just check top cancer hospitals in the country, and they have self referrals. In my case, I went through that process on a Saturday. I filled out the forms, and on Monday afternoon, I got a call from Sloan Kettering. And while I was talking with them, I gave permission, and they brought up all of my oncology reports right through my chart. And so they took those and gave them to the appropriate team, excuse me, and I got a call back um, a couple of days later, and they wanted to schedule a consultation. So indeed, my daughter and I went up to New York City. It was beginning of November of 23, and it was just an amazing experience. Every single contact that had to do with Sloan Kettering was absolutely all about caring for you. I never, ever, on any of my visits, spent more than 5 minutes in a waiting room for the appointment. I know that some of you can relate to what it was here locally was always an hour in the waiting room. And then I'm at a teaching hospital. And so be taken to the room, and a resident would come in, spend some time, and then about 10, 15 minutes later, the doctor would come in and talk. And it just, I don't know, it just had a really different feel for it. And I know that because I chose to go to Sloan, the outcome would have been very different had I stayed here. My cancer was throat cancer. And, well, it was actually on the tongue. And had I stayed here, I could tell when I talked to my doctor on my 6-month follow up from the surgery here locally that he was shocked that I had all of my tongue. And that's when I realized that because I was with a specialist who works only with the throat and the neck area, that she knew exactly what she was doing. And she just opened up the tongue, removed all the cancer. And in my particular case, I was very fortunate in that while I was waiting for the biopsy to see, well, what's going to be next, I finally got the word that 100% of the cancer was cleared. That my margins were all clear. So my experience was far better than what I hear so often on the Cancer Walk calls. But my cancer led me to having a purpose for starting cancerwalk.com. So for that, I am very, very grateful. And another thing, when I was there, this is the difference in different facilities. But Sloan Kettering, as I was deciding that, well, I wanted to have my surgery there. And so my doctor got out her phone and looked at her calendar and said, well, I can't do it the week before Thanksgiving. She said, but I can do it the Monday after Thanksgiving. This is the doctor who's setting the appointment. The whole experience was amazing. So please consider it. And then the second thing that I want to talk about, excuse me, it has to do with getting talking to your oncology department locally and just get names of therapists that are available, or go online and check for oncology therapists, because with technology these days, we don't have to be sitting in a room with somebody and talking. But I find this really came about from the Zoom calls, that people just feel like they have to handle everything but it all just keeps coming in layers and layers and layers, and you're really the moment you get that diagnosis, you're in a tailspin already just trying to comprehend all of the what ifs and the hows. So please consider getting a therapist to help you through that. And then the third thing that I want to talk about is as early in the process as you can, start to look into any and all financial assistance that would be available to you in your area with your type of cancer. And so you can do that by checking with your oncology department, ask for their social worker, and get a list from them or go online and check. But I understand from the calls, almost all insurance companies are going to cover the therapy for treating this. So please, you are very, very special, and you just need to make certain that you're your own advocate and taking care of your needs. So, and I would love the opportunity to have you on one of our Zoom calls. And again, they're every Tuesday and every Wednesday. And if you come on, if you haven't been, you're going to find that people just really start connecting. And especially as we're on calls together over a course of months, people are just supporting and helping each other and reaching out during the week and sharing. So it really becomes a community. So would love to have you there.